Today we're going to learn how to determine the position of a certain term in a quadratic sequence. Today we are going to determine a certain term's position. This is exactly the same quadratic sequence that we had in our previous lesson, and this is the general formula that we calculated before. Now, we want to know the how manyth number is this 1297. So in order to do that, we are going to make use of this general formula. And in the place of Tn, we are going to put this 1297. There it is. And it's equal to 1n squared plus 1. Now, we don't really need to write this 1 here because if a coefficient is a 1, we can simply leave it out. So this becomes n squared plus 1. Now, since the n squared is the only variable in this equation, we can take all our constants to the other side. So this plus 1 goes to the other side, and we get 1297 minus 1 is equal to n squared. This becomes 1296, which is equal to n squared. Now we can simply get the square root of the 1296. And once we do that, we get an answer of 36, which is equal to n. So n is 36. And that means that 1297 is the 36th number in our sequence. So T36 is 1297. Now let's go and look at an example where n squared is not the only variable in the equation. Now we are given the following quadratic series as well as the general formula for this series. Now we would like to know the position of this 496. So in the place of Tn we put 496, and that is equal to 2n squared plus 3n plus 1. Now, since this is a quadratic equation where n squared is not the only variable, there is a n as well, we need to take all the values to the one side. Now we are left with 0 equals 2n squared plus 3n plus 1 minus 496. That leaves us with 0 is equal to 2n squared plus 3n minus 495. Now, since this is a quadratic equation and it's a trinomial, we need to factorize it. So 0 is equal to 2n plus 33 in the first bracket, as well as n minus 15 in the second bracket. Well, you remember this from trinomial factorization, right? Now, this is a zero product rule, so n is equal to minus 33 over 2, or n is equal to 15. Well, n can never be a negative value because n is always an element of natural numbers. So n is equal to 15. That means that this 496 is the 15th number in this series. And we can write it as T15 is equal to 496. Now, if you wondered where this general formula comes from, well, we included the calculation in the PDF for you to see how it was done. See you next time. Bye.